Yo, what's good? This your boy Derek Branch here of Memphis Wire on SportsView360.com covering the Memphis Tigers. And today I got some new news concerning the program as it was reported yesterday on Saturday, April 12th, 2025, that Ashton Hardaway, son of Memphis Tigers men's basketball head coach Penny Hardaway, will be making his way back to the program as a part of this upcoming season's roster. He is the only the second transfer portal prospect to commit to the program. The other player was announced last Sunday, Quinte Berry, who played his previous season with the Temple Owls, who is also a member of the American Athletic Conference. So this based on reactions, based on what I've seen so far, what I've observed. A lot of people not a lot of people are not too enthused on this acquisition, on this transaction. Just basing it off of what Ashton Hardaway did last season. Well, not last season, but the previous year when he was a freshman with the program, and he had that huge game and he battled for Atlanta's against Michigan where he had like 17 points and he hit five threes. But other than that, outside of those games, he's just kind of hit the freshman wall down the stretch. Typical growing pains from a young prospect, and that a lot of that kind of rubbed the left a bad taste in a lot of Tiger fans. You know, online, in public, Facebook groups, message boards, wherever. This left a lot of bad taste in a lot of people's mind, a lot of people's mouth. And he decided to transfer. Went to St. Mary's Gales. Then to me, just looking at his game log throughout the season, he didn't see a whole lot of minutes, and only averaged 2.1 points per game this season, 1.2 rebounds, 0.4 assists, 35.4 field goal percentage. So that's not a lot, a whole not there's nothing to get excited about if you're a Tigers fan. But, you know, I'm pretty sure Penny Hardaway has a plan for this. For whatever it is gonna be. I don't know what that is. But I'm pretty sure that, and people are gonna be upset about this and, call it nepotism, but it is what it is. But maybe when I see Ashton, man, maybe he can be that, depends how you view it. Maybe he can be that Nicholas that he could be that player that plays that Nicholas Jordan role, where he just can get involved in so many ways on the boards, scoring if you need him to, quick buckets, defense. I mean, I know a lot. It got on. I know Nicholas Jordan got on a lot of people's nerves at Memphis, but that guy meant so much to that team, bro. He meant so much to that team. He was a glue guy, hard worker, blue collar. Maybe that could be Ashton Hardaway's ceiling. Maybe that could be the role that he plays with this team. We'll see. That's just a guess, right? A guess of mine, right there. Because, excuse me, you come in, with these type of numbers: 2.1 points per game, 1.2, rebounds per game, 0.4. It's nothing to get excited about. But remember, Dane Danger had like a similar growth spurt like this as well. When he was at Illinois, he wasn't averaging. He did not average nowhere near the points per game, the rebounds that he was when he was in it when he was with the Illini with the Illinois program. Got to Memphis, he came off the bench first, then became a starter, and then became a pivotal contributor down the stretch. You know, now that Ashton Hardaway has some time under his belt. You know what I'm saying? Played it freshman year with Memphis, transferred to St. Mary's. Now he playing third season with the Tigers. Now his career high, he had a season high season high with St. Mary's this year was like 8 points. You know, only 8 points. It is what it is, man. But we'll see how it all play out down the stretch, man. I know a lot of people. There's been a lot of chatter that's been going on lately. You know, with the NIL, the house settlement, um, players are, the value of players are now going up now. NIL value of players are going up now. And the latest that I heard of, I think y'all heard it as well, from, trusted, reliable sources, reporters out there, that PJ Haggerty's NIL deal, NIL value, after based on how his past season transpired, has gone up to $3 million. To $3 million. So, with that being said, you know, can the Tigers afford that? Can the Tigers commit all those dollars to one player? And it's just the landscape of college basketball right now, of this college athletics right now, especially in college basketball and college football and college baseball to a certain extent. It's no longer you no longer. It's getting like the NFL, the NBA. To be honest, player have a really good year, his dollars go up, his value go up. Kind of similar to what goes on in the NFL and the NBA. You go out there, put up those type of numbers, produce your market. If you're a free agent, your market value is going to go up. It's going to be worth a lot. You know what I mean? And there's been people that believe that the Tigers may not be able to commit that much amount of money to this type of player. You know? So I'm gonna go ahead and play some audio that I recently just heard from Gary Parrish of Grind City Media, Memphis native.
The great
And we
Hitman
talk
Hoops
about
on Twitter is reporting that PJ Haggerty has multiple offers in the $3 million range. I will say, this is where you're about to find out what kind of basketball program you're running in this era of college basketball. If he is really worth $3 million right now, this is probably, not definitely, I never want to put a ceiling on anybody, but what I'm about to tell you is probably true. The most money he'll ever make playing basketball will be next year in college somewhere. This is where we're about to find out what's real and what isn't. For the sake of the conversation, let's just assume that he would like to stay at Memphis if it makes sense. Well, now they have to make it make sense. And it sounds like it might take $3 million to make it make sense. There are plenty of schools that can spend $3 million on one player, but they are mostly schools in the Big Ten and the SEC and the Big 12. Those are mostly the schools that can do that. What I mean by we're about to find out is we're about to find out how much money does Memphis really have. And if it's not as much as those schools, then the next question is it a good way to spend your money to spend $3 million on one player? You want to know what happened at Rutgers this season? I was told 90% of their NIL went to two dudes. So what happened? They sucked. They had two awesome NBA prospects who were very good college players. Nothing around them.
All right, man. So those are the words of Gary Parrish, of the Gary Parrish Show of Grind City Media, and he has a valid point. He has a valid point on the situation at hand. Do you want to spend? Do you want to commit all those dollars to one player and surround him by inconsistent or unreliable parts, or do you want to take the risk of losing him and use that money to surround yourself with a very solid team? We'll see. And I don't, you can't really get mad at PJ Haggerty, man. You can't get mad at him. You cannot fault him, for winning, for heavily, weighing his options right now for taking his time with this decision because who's to say that he is going to have a prosperous, long NBA career? You know what I'm saying? This is he made right now. This money, this is probably going to be the most money he's going to make right now compared to the NBA. Depending on his his prospects in the NBA. It's the most amount of money he can make right now. $3 million. You're not going to make that as a second round pick in the NBA. You're not going to make that. Not even a late first round pick is going to make that type of money. So this is what's going on right now in college athletics. You got guys, that may not have NFL or NBA careers or in Major League Baseball careers are now staying in school longer, getting their education, and sign these type of life altering deals. That's just the dynamics of what's going on. And some other news I heard not too long ago is that Dane Dangerous, if he comes back, his NIL value is $2 million. $2 million. So you have to find a way to get a total of $5 million to play these players. Two of your best players from last season. So that's if he gets awarded another year of eligibility. So a lot to be determined right now. A lot to be decided right now. It's just I would say let's just chill and see how PJ Hardaway works those connections, works those resources, those assets that he have to build a team. I know he's gonna find a team. He's gonna figure out a way to put a competitive team together because you know the AAC, man, is very winnable. It's a very winnable conference. If you can get 2 to 3 solid players, even one solid player, one or two, you will win this conference. You know, so he's gonna figure out a way to put together a competitive roster for this upcoming season. Folks may not like the way it's done, but it is what it is. He will figure out a way to get it done. So there's that. But that for right now, the news is Ashton Hardaway, son of Penny Hardaway, returned to Memphis, returned to the program. He is, according to Jason Munz, he's the third player that has left the program and eventually come back. The other two that have done it is Tyler Harris, who transferred to Iowa State, went to Memphis, then left Memphis, went to South Florida. Moise Cisse went to Memphis first in 2020, transferred, went to Oklahoma State, 2 years, then went to Ole Miss, then come back to Memphis. So there is a trend there. But that's all I have for y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how y'all feel. How do you feel about Memphis possibly spending $3 to $2 million on potentially Dan Danger and PJ Haggerty for this upcoming season, or do you think they should pursue other routes? Have a blessed day. Peace. I'm out.